Last year, I made a pair of pull-on stretch jeans that are super comfortable and fit amazingly. They're quite fitted though. I've adapted the pattern to fit the same but short, just a little wider. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing. Today's episode involves a few hacks. One of them to a garment I already made. I decided to make a few changes just now, just because. And the other one is a brand new garment using the same pattern. What I'm talking about is the Crescendo pull-on jeans from Love Notions. Very popular pattern when it was released last year. You need stretch denim or a stretch bottom weight woven with at least 25% stretch. For me, it's really hard to find the right amount of stretch in denim here. I can find tons and tons of non-stretch denim, but it's hard to find the good one that stretches with spandex in there. I did find some and I was able to sew a brand new garment. These Crescendo jeans are the Feature Friday pattern, Today Friday. They're only $5 just for one day. You have 4 patterns in one basically. You have the same fit on the waistband, has an elastic inside, the same type of pockets, rounded jean style pockets at the back, the yoke, the fake fly, all of that the same. Sort of at the thigh to the knee, that's when it starts changing into either flare, boot cut, straight or skinny jeans. So you can sew all the styles of legs that you like with this one pattern. For the feet also, on the crotch extension, you can choose for a flatter or a curvier bottom, depends on how big your bottom is. You can choose an inner cut line or an outer cut line on the crotch extension. I sew right in the middle. And then there's also height options for petite, regular and tall. But these height options are really helpful because it affects the rise, the inseam and all of that. I made a size 16 top. I always forget to mention what I'm wearing, but this is one of the cadence tops I've made. It's one of many and it's gorgeous. It matches my 3 pairs of crescendos, so you'll see all of them styled with this lovely top today. It's a woven top with darts, everything, contrast binding. It's a lovely top. I have a full video on this pattern that I made last year with a lot of the sewing process. I also have a full sew along for it on my Patreon page. Now I have a red version, which is the first one I made. That's the straight leg, super nice with a stretch cotton, and it's amazing. These are the first pair of Crescendo jeans I made last year. This is a stretch cotton bottom weight with a texture. I've got the straight leg version, beautiful size 16 with a tall option here with the inseam and the rise, really comfortable fit. I know now that the straight leg version is my favorite out of all the options here. I've got my cadence top tucked in on the side so you can see the waistband and the patch pocket details. You just pull it up. There's an elastic inside that wide waistband, very comfortable to wear. I really enjoyed these pair of red Crescendo jeans. Those are the straight legs. After wearing these red pants a little bit out and about, I really noticed I love straight leg pants. It's usually what I sew. It's usually what I've purchased in the past. It's how I feel the most comfortable. It's how I feel it's the most classic as well. So, and then wearing my second pair, the blue jeans, those I made as a boot cut, I decided to transform them into a straight leg, which is fairly easy. Let me show you how I did that. And then because I was going to make them narrower going down, I was going to have a little bit of extra seam allowance on the sides, I decided to add little slits. So this is a little hack that I'm doing to my jeans that I had already made just because I decided I like straight leg jeans. I do like straight leg jeans. I think that is what meshes most with me. I know a lot of people really like skinny jeans. I would never wear skinny jeans. That's just my thing. We all have our preference and there's 4 options in this pattern so you can choose. So let me show you in a short clip how I adjusted this to end up with a little slit at the bottom, and then let's see them on modified. Okay, here are my original Crescendo with the boot cut. What I've done is put the pattern piece for the straight leg on top, and I'm just going to remove that little flare right there. I'm drawing that with a pen. But I also need to take away seam allowance from that because that's just the edge of the pattern piece that has seam allowance. So here at the bottom of my legs, you can see I've drawn the seam allowance in and where I'm going to cut off that extra. So it's going to be super easy. Now I'm going to add some slits here on the side. I'm drawing a line up to where I can have them or where I have extra seam allowance to be able to do that. So that is how I'm going to add the slits there. Super easy. Now I have been already to the serger and I have sewn in where I need to sew, and I've serged all the edges and it's super easy. Now on the inseam where I don't have the slits, I'm just going to serge that excess away right there. And then here on the side where I have the slits, I have sewn that little bit of seam allowance and then serged from the top and sort of united there, leaving a section open. So that's why I serged that edge first. And then I just have to fold up my hem and do my hem. I have basted it to keep it in place so it doesn't move, and I'm just top stitching all the way around, and now I have a brand new hem with the little slits there. Now the seam allowance I left for the slits was smaller than the hem allowance, so I didn't do my corners. I just folded them in nicely on the inside, and it's going to be super nice, super structured, and it's going to be a nice little detail that I have extra here. So it's really easy to change the width of a leg after the fact if you change your mind, if you want something narrower. Just go ahead and do it on the outside and on the inside so it's balanced. And if you can use your pattern pieces as reference, go for it. I did that and it was a safe way to do it. Now my second pair is more traditional, very heavy stretch denim here. These used to be bootcut, but I have just transformed them into straight leg pants because that is the option I prefer. I figured out that it just meshes more with my style. These are very stiff, heavy fabric, even though I've washed it a few times. These are a delight to wear. That pocket there that goes from side to side is super comfortable. You can see I can touch my fingertips on the inside. Very nice pair of jeans. Now look what I've done at the bottom. Because I made them narrower at the bottom, I had a bit of extra seam allowance, so I added a little slit there for fun. Just because I could and I knew I was going to enjoy that. I like that detail on pants, so why not add them onto these jeans? Perfect. Love that. This is my new hem area. There is a slit. It's all top stitched with that golden color thread. It's not top stitching thread, it's regular thread, and it looks really nice. And now I have a nice straight leg pant like I prefer. And I do prefer how it looks compared to how it looked like with the boot cut. I just felt there was too much volume there somehow. And this fabric is so heavy. This denim is heavy. It's super heavy. I think it's like 13 to 14 ounce denim. The heavier the denim, I think you can't really take the volume that well. You really feel it down there, at least I did. And other than feeling uncomfortable, I just felt strange because it wasn't a straight leg pant. So now I'm happy. Straight legs, something that you can do after the fact, and I'm glad I was able to do it. If you're enjoying all this fun and practical sewing content, don't leave this video without tapping on the like. It really helps my channel grow. I really appreciate it. Just tap on the thumbs up. Makes me super happy. What have I done with my brand new crescendos? I've made shorts, and I really wanted to do this. I wanted to keep that same fit, that same comfort, pull up, elastic, all the same pockets, everything the same, just shorts. But if you've noticed the feet of these two garments, they are quite fitted at the thighs. And it's just not the style that I like to wear in shorts. I know some people like wearing fitted shorts. It's not how I vibe at all. So I wanted to make the legs a little straighter. I'm not going to have wide shorts here. It's not the style either. But I do want this to come out of my thigh a little bit and not hug my thigh. So it's a really easy adjustment to do. And I start first by putting my original jeans on so I can figure out some things. I'm going to show you that. And then I make a brand new pattern, just tracing my original pattern just to make these legs a little wider, figure out the inseam I want. Very sweet process, very fast, and you can have a pair of shorts as well. So let's see the little process here. Rather than guessing, I'm going to put on my crescendo jeans and on the body just decide the length that I want. It's easier than just guessing what type of inseam. So I've got a pin there at the mid-thigh. I'm going to bend over and measure the inseam, and I'm going to discount that seam allowance when I look at the pattern. I think I want about 6.5. So I'm going to add 1 inch of hem allowance to that. So I'm going to measure 7.5. And then from where do I want this to flare out? Because obviously I don't want fitted shorts. That's not a vibe for me. So just below where that pocket ends, so I don't have to adapt the pocket pieces, that's where I'm going to start just widening a little bit down and making it a little more straight on the side seam and on the inseam. Okay, here I've got my front piece. There's a notch there that marks where the pocket ends, so that's exactly where I'm going to start widening. I've got my paper underneath my pattern piece so I can trace out a new shorts piece so I don't have to make too many changes to my jean pattern piece. Traced all of these. That will not change the pockets. Nothing's going to change over here. It's just going to be beneath the pockets where I'm going to make it a little bit wider. So I've got my tape measure here. I measured my inseam, so I'm going to measure that from where I mark the seam allowance there. And I'm going to measure 7.5 inches down, which is what I want because that's including 1 inch of hem allowance. So I'm going to measure that. And just to make that easier, I do have a line here from assembling my pattern. I'm just going to measure how much that was there, 2.25. So it's just easier for me to mark this straight to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that over here. From here, I'm just going to make this almost straight down like that on the inseam, and on the side seam I'm going to straighten it out as well. So from the edge of my paper here, it's going to be about 1 inch out. I've done this with many other pants before. I just don't want this to hug my thigh. I want it to just go around my thigh nicely. So that's going to be my shorts. I'm going to take this aside and now complete this over here because I'd only marked it partially. Remember, there's 1 inch of hem allowance right there. Okay, so there I've got my grain line mark transferred from the other pattern. Remember, this already has seam allowance. I don't have to mess with anything. Seam allowance is already here on the side. I just straightened out the silhouette, same as that way. So I'm not changing anything other than making the legs a little wider here so that they don't hug my thigh. But otherwise, everything else is going to be the same, the pockets, the waistband, all the same. Here's the back. I've done the exact same thing. Here I've got my new hemline right there, 7.5 inch inseam. I've marked the side seams from that notch down. I went straight, not completely straight, but almost straight down to there, and also straightened out to get more width there on the leg section there. But up there, it's still going to be nice and fitted. So I'm just going to trim this out and then construct as normal. Ta-da, here are my brand new shorts. I think they turned out amazing. I have nice stretchy denim. It's very nice. I would say this is 11 ounce weight. Very nice. I was very fortunate to find it. As an asterisk, I live in Brazil. I purchase locally. That's why I never share links of my fabric, because you just can't buy them. They don't sell internationally. So yeah, you have to find your own stretch denim. I'm sure you can find sources on Asking General Sewing Facebook groups, or Asking the Love Notions Facebook group, where you can find stretch denim and mention where you are, and then you can get local recommendations to whatever country you're in. But yeah, these are my shorts. 6.5 inch inseam, which is perfect. You can customize, make it however long you want, and you can see that it's just straight now. It's not going to hug the thigh in the inner area or the outer area. All the rest, the construction is exactly the same. I have the fake fly top stitched, the pockets. I used the stretch cotton in here for the pocket lining. Very nice. The waistband, 2 inch elastic inside. The yoke, the top stitching, the patch pockets, all of it is there. It's all the same. It was just faster because the seams were shorter. So that's really nice. Let me show you how it looks like on the inside. It's got that all-in-one pocket that covers all of your abdominal area, which feels so nice on. You can put your hands in your pockets and touch your fingers in the middle. If you don't like that, you can sew a stitch in the middle. This took no time at all to make. I already know the fit is there. All I had to do was sew them up. You can see there is a pocket, goes all the way across. My stretch cotton is in there. And they're just amazing little shorts that I'm going to really enjoy wearing. I actually don't have a pair of stretch pull-on denim shorts at all. I don't have any. All of my shorts are woven or knit. These are my newest Crescendo, but you can see there's legs missing because I've made them into shorts. I've done the same size, all the same. Stretch denim, again, only this time shorts. I've made the inseam at 6.5 inches, and I've widened the legs on the side seam and on the inseam from where the pockets end. I've straightened them out a little bit so it doesn't hug my thighs. I don't like super tight shorts, so I think this is fine. It keeps all the original details of the pants, the waistband, the pockets, the fake fly. Everything's the same. It's just shorts, and I'm gonna really, really enjoy them. This was so fast and easy to make. It's a really, really easy hack if you want your pattern to go even further than all the options you already have. Here I've paired my new Crescendo shorts with one of my band camp shirts that I made last year. Sneakers, very sporty, very fresh. You can see how much stretch these shorts have and how much mobility I have them. Very functional for an active day out. I could even go hiking in these. Very excited to have them. I think they're going to be very useful for me. Up closer, see the stretch of this denim. It's just so soft and stretchy. It's amazing. When you find the right fabric, it's just a dream come true. And I love them paired with a blouse and sneakers. Very casual. But like, I made a tiny bit of effort, and I don't have any other short like this in my wardrobe that comfortable and that stretchy, made out of denim, so I'm very happy. I love how they turned out. I think they turned out amazing. It was really easy process to just modify that leg a little bit. It's always a little bit of trial and error as well. I'm used to doing these things and just estimating how much I want, but go ahead. Give it a go. I'm sure if you like wearing shorts and you like the fit of these, you'll be super pleased. I'm very, very pleased, super comfortable, and it's another way to make this pattern that already has a lot of options go even further. Love doing that. Highly recommend this pattern. Get it today for only $5. I hope my makes inspired you. And that's the creative sewing I had for you today. I'll see you next week again at Lifting Pins and Needles with more fun sewing over here. See you then.